and welcome to episode 3 of our Curse of Strahd campaign. Don't know why I stumbled for that word, god damn it, Shane. But, when last we left off, our intrepid heroes had just conquered the Death House. And briefly...
I thought it was the Durst House.
Durst, Death House, they're both accurate. And briefly met with Strahd von Zarevich, Baron of Barovia. You are now standing at 3rd level and Donnel having just shown glowing wings and the capacity to heal people.
Yeah. Sesna's kind of just staring at him unabashedly at this angel boy we've got with us now.
Leon's busy looking at where Strahd just floated into the sky and disappeared.
Well, he turned into a gas and then vanished off into the mist.
And disappeared. I'm not finding him. Listen, guys, I can track undead. He's gone. There's nothing I can do.
But yes, you are all doing this on a cold, dark, nighttime street outside of a burned-down house in a village you've literally never been to before in your lives.
So,
that, up until this month, was not on Tal'Dorei.
So, we were gonna go look for the Burgermeister, yes? Or his house.
Well, I mean, that was the plan, but it's currently, dark. We're all kind of, battered and bruised. I think resting for the night would probably be the most imperative decision we could make.
Yes. Well, the house behind us gone, and I'm not sure where we could do that. Considering most people don't open their doors.
Well, I suppose that's what we packed for, isn't it? We did pack, right? I'm not the only one.
I was hoping that you all packed.
I mean, you'd have to be a fool not to pack for traveling and sleeping on the road if you were planning on traveling any amount of distance.
Indeed.
That is to say, does everyone have a method of sleeping? Does everyone have a bedroll at the least?
Yeah.
I certainly do.
The sun shall be your party marker. You should all be able to see the village now.
The question is, where are we gonna go about? Look, I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit weird for a bunch of folk to just wander into town and set up camp outside of a burned-out house.
Perhaps we should see if there is an inn of some variety. Perhaps we're being a bit too presumptuous to think that they wouldn't have that, and it would not be operating.
Well, I mean, y'all just kept talking about.
I don't know if anyone in this town is alive.
Well, the only one way to find out.
Hello?
Given
There
the...
you go.
God, I'm gonna snog him.
Anyone out there? I know it's late and all, but could anyone give us directions?
There is quiet, aside from that soft sobbing that's been present since you first reached the village, beyond your immediate vision in the mist.
So is the sobbing leading out of the village?
It is leading from somewhere in that direction.
Well, crying sure sounds like something. Let's go find that. Let's go find the source of that crying. At least it's something alive.
I'm gonna go with him.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, we're all kind of in rough shape from that place, and this place kind of makes me feel like the entirety of it's gonna be a lot like that place pointing to the burnt down house. So maybe not just wander into every sound of crying that we find.
You know, I agree.
That's a good idea.
I agree.
I'm gonna knock on the house. I'm gonna knock on the door. Hello?
I'm sorry, you're going to which house and knocking on the door?
The one across the street. So this one.
Alright.
As he walks away, just to let the other two. When did he get angel wings?
He what?
Well,
The wings that are clearly protruding from his back?
hold on a second. GM,
Hmm.
does
Are they
he
still?
have things on his back right now?
Yep.
Yeah, the wings are still showing on his back for the moment.
Hmm.
I thought
No
that
idea.
was
Perhaps he's an ASMR of some variety.
God touched. So I'm not the only one who was seeing that.
Touched by fate, one could say.
Knock, knock, knock.
I'm... okay.
Man, I sure hope these things don't get in the way of doors.
Anyway, you knock, and after a long moment, as you knock again, there's a voice from behind the door. Sawed off. Nobody in this town's gonna be opening their doors after dark.
Well, could
All
you at
learn
least point
better.
us in the direction of someone that will open the door? An inn, mayhaps? Somewhere we could lay our heads?
Go down the main road you came in on. Big building on the right.
Thank you. Well, wait. Oh, you know what? Thank you. That's helpful enough. Sorry for disturbing you, sir.
You're just unrolling his bedroll in the background.
Hey, this rude gentleman here mentioned a big building on the right, like from the main road.
Did he mention that this big building was an inn of some
mean-
variety?
When I asked about an inn or somewhere we could lay our heads, he sure seemed to bring it up pretty quick. So I'd imagine.
All right, let's go.
I roll it back up.
I'm going to test these wings and float off the ground before the minute expires and I fall back onto my feet.
She's just
Oh, they
still
were out-
staring at him.
They were out for the whole talk with Strahd, so you get a few feet down the way before plopping back onto your feet as the wings seem to disintegrate.
That was neat. Sure hope I can do that again.
Man, I hope it wasn't a one-time thing. That would suck.
Do you?
That's when Strahd pops in behind him. Like, unfortunately for you, stab.
Ow.
Zach, you're trying to say something?
Yes. Donnel, Never mind. We will speak of it in the morning.
All right, Mr. Caerwynn. Whatever you
It's-
say. I'm heading out towards that area that we were informed to go.
Yep.
A single shaft of light thrusts illumination into the main square, its brightness looking like a solid pillar in the heavy fog. Above a gaping doorway, a sign hangs precariously askew, proclaiming the Blood on the Vine Tavern.
I will enter.
I enter with them.
Ominous. That's an ominously named building. Let's go inside. Why not?
I'm beginning to think that it's a theme of this place.
I'm gonna wait exactly 20 seconds for a blood-curdling scream from the rest of them, and then I'm gonna go in.
Precisely 21 seconds afterwards, I let out a blood-curdling scream.
The 20 seconds come and go, and you follow them in. This once finely appointed tavern has grown shoddy over the years. A blazing fire in the hearth gives scant warmth to the few huddled souls within. They include a barkeep, tirelessly scrubbing at glasses with a rag that could be cleaner. 3 oddly dressed women sitting together, and a man sitting off on a table by himself. The man sits in a corner table, and the 3 ladies sit near the front door.
Now, when you say oddly dressed, how do you mean?
They are, compared to the man in the corner at the corner table, they're dressed rather outlandishly. You'd compare them maybe to some of the more wandering peoples of Tal'Dorei, those that you've seen, but out of character, they're dressed like gypsies.
Ah.
So I'm going to approach
Or here,
the
I
bar.
can- They all the ladies look roughly like that.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
how?
Okay, come on, man.
Your barkeep, something like this. And the man at the corner table, he looks like that. Shut your phone.
Jeff. Sorry, not even Jeff. Leon was heading to the bar. I'm gonna head to the three strange-looking ladies. What are you other two doing?
Well, you know, I'm gonna go make sure that fella off by himself is all right. I'm gonna kind of go over towards him. Divide and conquer, and then suddenly we were all slain.
I talked to the barkeep.
Okay, so Leon and Caerwynn are going to the barkeep. Sesna is heading to the three ladies by the front door, and Donnel is going to go talk to the man in the corner table, yes?
Yep.
Yep.
Phone, shut the fuck up.
You said the fuck word.
Well, sue me, YouTube. Sue me, YouTube,
That
for
was
all I
funny.
own. It's a pittance. Won't even cover your legal fees.
Anyways, you don't know, Shane. They're owned by Google. They might do it for the principle of the thing.
Yeah, sure.
They might do it because they're bored.
Anyway. We will start with...
For the sake of
start with
suggestion,
Leon and Caerwynn.
I should kind of. Okay. I was gonna say I should probably be last, considering I'm last in the building.
Yeah. So, Leon and Caerwynn, you approach the barkeep, and he's a pudgy, short man. Kind of looks up to you as you approach the bar, but then just looks back to the glasses as he continues to clean them. And you notice as he sets down the last one in his row, he just picks the first one back up and begins cleaning it again.
Tell me, good sir, do you rent rooms in this establishment?
There's a common room upstairs. It's 10 coppers a night. A glass of
Oh,
wine,
what?
you can get a glass of wine for 1 copper. I'll give you silver.
So I'll put down a gold. That's for our sleeping arrangements.
I don't have change for that.
Yeah, give me wine then.
So, as you state to just give you wine, he pulls a bottle up, sets it down, takes the gold coin, and puts 5 silvers on the counter.
No. Give me 3 bottles of wine.
Takes back 2 more silvers and puts 2 more bottles up.
Alright, then. I'm going to put 2 of these bottles away, and I'm then going to open one, and pour a shot in a glass, and have a drink. because this is my game.
Shot of red wine.
It is the most jank high society thing.
Listen,
It's
when
like
you
wine
go to
tasting
Amsterdam,
without.
when you go to Amsterdam and they tell you this is what you can get with $10, you're like, all right, well, set me up.
It's like wine tasting, but without all the pretentiousness.
Yeah, it's a pretty good way to describe this.
You know what? Just give me $5. Don't give me any change. Just give me as many bottles of wine as you can.
As he takes the last of his 3 coins away and puts 3 more bottles up.
I put those away. Okay, so just so I'm clear on this, I now have 6 bottles of wine.
No, wait.
Yes,
Yes.
that is math.
Yes, correct.
All right then. Things are looking up, boys. We now have alcohol. We can get drunk with Strahd before we die.
You have red wine, so, you know.
Literally, he just comes back to like, wait, can I exchange my question for a favor? What is that? We have 6 bottles of wine. Could we all get schlitz together before you kill me? Why not?
I'm a vampire, so it won't do shit to me, but sure. Sure, we can do that.
I don't know who my kid. I don't know who this guy is. I know he can just make houses disintegrate, fly and turn into a gaseous form. Apparently dealt with my mentor like he was nothing. I'm sure he's a bitch.
Anyway.
No.
Caerwynn, did you have anything to say to the barkeep?
I just stare in awe as this drunkard
Hey.
just lays down an entire gold and buys 6 whole bottles of wine.
I also pay for your sleeping arrangements, Mr. Priest. Maybe you should be paying.
Oh yeah, for one night.
Are we gonna be staying here for a week? I don't think we are. Anyways, as he's just staring in amazement, I'm going to look at the bartender. Heard of crying ever since I got into town. What's that about?
He kind of looks up, meets your eyes, blinks, goes back to scrubbing glasses.
I have the skills, and I could get violent with this man. But I just bought 6 bottles of wine, so I feel as though we have a good... I'll leave it alone. I'll ask someone else in a minute.
Alright. Up next, Donnel, you're approaching the man in the corner table. At the corner table, I should say.
Just kind of walking up. Excuse me, sir?
He looks up and takes a look at you, offers a hand. Not sir. Ismark.
Nice to meet you, Ismark. I'm Donnel.
A pleasure to meet you, Donnel, and it's Ismark. With an E.
Oh, Ismark. My apologies, I misheard. Anywho, are you familiar with this this village, this nice place y'all got here?
He shrugs, sips his wine. I should be. Me and my sister grew up here.
You wouldn't happen to know what the Burgermeister would be like, right? Or where he might be, taking up residence? Because I found this letter whenever we were on our way into town, and says that he's in need of some assistance, as it were.
You see him sigh, take a deep drink from his wine, kind of hold out his hand for the letter.
I kind of offer him the letter to peruse.
Takes it and he kind of looks at you for a second. The Burgomaster was a good man. My father did his best for this town, and perhaps you should reread this letter. He told you to stay away.
Well, I mean, it's a touch late for that now, I would think, at least, seeing as we're here anywho.
Oh,
And he's made mention of a vampire having made visits to his home. Figure at the very least we could, talk to him about that in the morning, of course. I'm a bit tired, as it were.
He's a bit more tired than you. Well, I suppose he's not much of anything anymore.
Oh, is he dead?
Unfortunately, when you attempt to deny the devil Strahd, he spits on the floor, and from the table near the door, stop that! I'll
That's
have to
just
clean that up later.
Well, that's just unsanitary.
Our most benevolent overlord does not like it when he is denied things. My father and I agree on denying him our sister all the same. Well, my sister anyway.
Okay, I was about to say, because that gets really weird really quick. So, you're saying the Burgermeister is, no longer with us. What is... Well, I suppose... Your sister? You're the Burgermeister's son?
Yes.
Well, what is it that, Strahd is wanting with your sister?
Another bride, no doubt. He's had 4, 5 over the centuries. I don't intend for my sister to be his next.
Well, with all due respect, sir, why are you here drinking, if that's the case, and not with your sister, ensuring her safety, as it were?
Because my sister, as long as she doesn't leave the house and doesn't go near the windows, is safe.
Well, suppose that makes sense then. You wouldn't happen to need any help with that, keeping your sister safe, as it were, would you? I mean, we're here for the long haul, according to what, that very dapperly dressed, pale gentleman had said whenever he met us outside that burned down house.
His
He
eye
introduced
raises.
himself as Strahd.
Yeah, his eye raises. So you've met the end from the door. Say it and spit, and I cut your tongue out. You've met him already.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And you made it through the Durst house. Not many
Yep.
do. Impressive.
I didn't do it alone. I did it with that pale gentleman over there. That's Mr. Leon. Over there, that's Mr. Caerwynn, the yellow-haired gentleman that looks like a lady.
Excuse me?
Let the
Mr.
boy
Caerwynn,
talk.
it's a compliment. I think your hair is very pretty.
To be fair, it is a compliment. Fair sex is usually beautiful.
And then, at this point, Sesna has likely walked in as I've been talking to this gentleman over 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And Sesna over there as well. Well, yeah, 3 of us made it through that, the Durst house.
By my count, that is 4.
Well, I'm not very good with numbers.
Well enough.
But
I could use your help protecting my sister. She's insisting on staying in Barovia until we can get our father buried. But after that, I intend to take her to Vallaki. They at least can keep a wall up. But here Strahd does not tempt them. Walk among them as he does here in Barovia.
well, what is it you need our assistance with?
Getting my father to the chapel so he can be buried in the graveyard. And then getting my sister all the way to Vallaki.
Well, I mean, that's... Well, hold on. Mr. Leon! Caerwynn! Sesna, whenever you get the opportunity, because you have a conversation to be had as well. This gentleman has a proposal.
And I'm very happy for you, but I think you're too young.
Don't judge the boy.
Not that kind of proposal, Sesna. And Mr. Ismark over here, well, I don't really find him too interesting, to be fair. No offense, Mr. Ismark.
Ah, you wound me.
Apparently, I'm one of them there bards, because I've wounded him with my words. I did not know I was capable of that.
I'm rolling insight. Hold on, I need to see if he's actually fucking with me right now.
I'm going to roll deception to see if I can actively fuck with. God damn it! I'm not trained in deception. Oh, close. I'm fucking with you pretty hard.
There's a glare.
As Sesna has her conversation, I'm going to leave the bar and approach this man.
Yes. Anyways, back in time to Sesna talk.
But yes, Sesna, you are approaching the three ladies sitting at the table near the front door.
Right, you three don't look like you're from around here.
Oh, we're from around. Just not residents. As you notice that each of them speaks a portion of the sentences.
That's just concerning. Jack says. And then just, well, that's also unfortunate. I was kind of hoping that we'd have another set of fish out of water here. You see, we're not from around here.
Oh, we
Walked
can
in the
tell.
mists, wound up here, and we don't know where here is.
They chuckle all together. And then one of them looks, and the one sitting just across the table from where you're standing looks to you. Well, just so we're on speaking terms, I am Mirabelle. She points to her left. That is Alenka. She points to her right. And that is Sorvia. We're Vistan. Well, our people move all over Barovia. And you hear from Ismark's table, he will back in one of the corners, and they're the only ones who can leave. Lucky.
Wait, is that so?
Well, I wish Ismark wouldn't go around telling all our secrets, but yes, a sip of our magic potion and off we go. But then, our master is here, and we'll all eventually come back.
Wait, but hold on. How do you mentioned a magic potion, she says with air quotes. What exactly is that, and how do you just walk away? Because from the sounds of it, we probably aren't going to be able to do that.
Oh, absolutely not. Not without the potion, and we don't keep any here. It's just a special mix that lets us out of the mist. We do eventually have to come back, but oh well.
Huh. That... Okay, I'm gonna follow this as far as I can. But... How would we potentially get a hold of these, if we can, that is?
Mirabelle looks to her sisters, and finally the one she indicated that was Sorvia speaks up. Well, you could, I suppose you could talk to the camp out at Valaki. I think it's Lubash and Aragao. They keep a stock. They might sell you some.
I'll have to look into that. I was, a camp at Valaki, you said?
Just outside, on a small hill. The one that was referenced to be Alenka then speaks up. Oh, but if you're going that way, you should stop and see Madame Eva, since you are from out of town.
Madam Ava?
Yes. She's a bit of a strange old thing, but she's got a gift that some of us Vestani women have. Foresight. Just not her own or ours. Double-edged swords.
So what I'm hearing is a fortune teller of sorts?
Aye. And the power behind that.
Interesting. Hmm.
Why, Madam Ava has been reading the fates since she looked to her sisters, and Maribel speaks up again, since before any of us were alive. Before our parents were alive, I think.
Boy, had I talked to her about taking care of my own health. That would be at least 100 with that.
Well, anyway, you should go see her. A visit with her could be quite illuminating.
Under normal circumstances, I'd probably disagree, but I've seen a fair few weird things since we've walked into the mists already, so I might just do that.
You should. At any rate, I think your friend said Ismark had something to talk to you about.
Something about a proposal, but fair enough. Well, we sing you. Your names again?
Maribel points to herself. Maribel. Then points to the left. Alenka. And points to her right. Sorvia. And
Well,
enjoy your stay in Arden.
I will endeavor to. Also, I realize I never gave you my name. So, Sesna. Pleasure to meet the lot of you.
And a joy to meet an out-of-towner as well. Though you needn't give your name. The bats already told us.
Let me guess, the bats already told you. Okay, that's not the first disconcerting thing about you, but hey, add to the list. Anyways, you have a good night. I'm just gonna walk on over to where Donnel is.
As you all congregate around Donnel and Ismark.
Hi everyone. Mr. Ismark here. Well, I'll let him explain it, but the Burgomaster's dead. Just figured I should lead with that. And he's his son, and he has a job for us, as it were.
Did we not find the Burgomaster's body on the road?
No. It was a village man, a village boy he sent. He was supposed to leave that letter just outside the gates, where people who found it could maybe still get away. I'll assume he didn't make it that far.
He got very near, but it seemed he got there. He was just killed there.
Ah, well.
Oh, remember rightly, he was on the other side of the gate. Which
Out of
got
character.
near.
Out of character, he was about a mile inside the gate.
Hmm.
Yeah. He didn't quite make it. Got close, but from what I can tell, there are probably a number of things that just got him.
A shame. But as for the job, my father died a day or two ago. It's become clear that my sister is no longer safe here in the village. I want to take her to Valaki, but we need to bury our father first. If you'll help me hit my father to the graveyard, get him buried, and then help get my sister Irina to Valaki, I'm sure I can arrange some method of payment.
Senor GM, do I know how vampires work?
Give me a knowledge arcana test. Or knowledge religion.
Actually, on that note, Shane, considering, well, the Ripple and all the stuff that I was learning about, what would I be rolling to learn or to know about vampires?
Either religion or arcana, whichever is better.
We're doing religion. Because unfortunately, I'm not smart. Hey.
Religion relies upon wisdom, or no, it does rely upon intelligence.
Yeah, but I have proficiency with it, so it's better than just my baser. Just Arcana, which is just base, and I'm not super smart, so hey.
But yes. Sesna, you recall from some of the lessons that Master Tayo attempted to pound into your skull, vampires are exceptionally dangerous because of how easy it is for them to masquerade among the living, and the ability and the ease at which they can create more, it requiring only 3 bites. They do have to be on separate days, but given the level of stealth with which a vampire can operate, it's quite easy to wind up fighting multiple vampires at once. Or at least one vampire in its spawn.
And that's the all I would know?
That's what you can recall at the moment.
Okay. Right, well, when do we want to head out? Because I'd kind of prefer tomorrow at the earliest.
I'd have to agree with Miss Sesna there.
Well, I'll need to return to my house and start to get my sister sorted, but you can enjoy your stay at the inn. When you're ready, take the road south out of the crossroads outside the inn. It'll be the big house at the end of the road.
If I had to ask you to ping on this map where it would be, it'd be this one, correct?
One moment.
Well, let's see.
Yes.
We have that
Okay.
one, that's the end of a road.
I'm just going with the biggest one, because that's where the Burgermeisters like to live.
Yeah. I also just have to say, because it's been clanking around in my brain ever since we first heard, ever since I first heard Burgermeister. It just sounds like some villain for the Burger King to have to defeat. Like, it really does. I
You're not
understand it's an
wrong.
actual
Like the Burger King,
whatnot, but I can't. The Burger King version of like the Hamburglar, basically.
yeah.
I'm Mr. Burger, Mr. Beef, I'm gonna stop now.
Right. Yeah. Ismark just kind of looks to the rest of you. Any other questions before I make my way home?
Why do you think your sister will be safer where you're going than here?
They at least can maintain a wall. It's small comfort, but it's comfort, and I hear the church there is a bit more blessed than ours.
There's a church. To what deity?
To the Morning Lord. Though he has
Is he also-
tight-lipped since then. Well, ever since Strahd came, I suppose.
Wait, now do you mean like morning as in like good morning, or do you mean morning as in someone just died kind of morning?
As in when the sun rises.
Okay, so some along the lines of Pelor and whatnot.
Good to see Pelor has worshippers even in this strange village.
I don't know that name, but I suppose it's a fair approximation of the concept. At least where you come from.
It's called the Dawn Father, where we come from, so.
Similar enough, I suppose. But yes. Valaki's church has some protection left. I would take my father to bury him were the trip not so long.
Oh, that reminds me, on the note of Valaki, you lot, I was talking to those three lovely ladies who really like to finish each other's sentences. By the way, they talk to bats, so be wary of them. But, and we should probably take this with a grain of salt considering they talk to bats, but apparently there's a little camp outside Valaki. Like them, they sell magic potions, or can potentially have magic potions to sell that could potentially help us get out of this mist, and I just feel we could maybe get some supplies for Whitestone. Our actual goal here.
That also, I could try and get more members of my order, provided that this works, and we could return and try and deal with this Strahd fellow.
I mean, it's going to be
Also
on our way anyways,
downside-
helping Mr. Ismark.
True, but also downside, from at least what they said, and again, they talked about, so grain of salt, we're gonna have to come back.
We sure they're not just touched by the Dawn Father?
I knew a feller talked to his horse once.
Shane, no. Shane, no. Bad. G.
I knew a feller who talked to his horses once. I didn't really... You don't really get much from people that talk to animals. So, I do think a grain of salt is necessary. At the very least with these folk.
Would Caerwynn be familiar with the concept of druidism?
You're passingly familiar with it. You've met druids before, but probably haven't studied too much into what they do.
It might be a form of druidism. I have heard of some who can speak to animals.
Well, a lot of people can speak to animals, Mr. Caerwynn. The thing is, these animals, what that they talk to, somehow knew. With us having been in this town for all of maybe an hour at most before we went into that house, seems a little suspect to me.
Could have seen us coming up the road and flown to them. Wouldn't be surprised, given everything.
Yeah, had a similar mind.
Anyways, we know what we'll be doing tomorrow. Not much more to think about talking. We should probably get some rest upstairs.
You broke up bad there.
Yeah, I should probably do something about my...
We should probably get some rest in the common room.
Yeah, should probably do something about my hair. Apparently it's not all that great looking, and then like passing glance to fucking Donnel.
I didn't mean to defend you, Miss Sesna. Just it was comment about Miss.
It's Donnel. Don't say anything. Just let it go. Just walk right past it, and apologize in the morning.
I'm more confused now than I was a moment ago. I don't understand how you walk around words. They've been verbally spoken. They're not a physical impairment to your mobility. But alright.
Roll to see if he's fucking with me.
And you can always roll.
He's mainly trying to deflect from the fact that he's now flustered.
Alright then. But with that, Leon is going to head into the common room, or head to the common room and find a place to sleep with his bag.
I'm to go to do the same, I suppose.
Okay, with my insight, would I know exactly what Sesna is upset about?
I haven't seen you roll an insight. No, you would not.
My favorite
The
video
most-
game moment is just
Hold
and this is
up. Good, good.
I think you broke up, Pat.
No, it's like, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just referring to Metal Gear Solid 3, how you can walk around in the naked camo, which is without your shirt on, and then during the radio conversations with your handlers, you can be like, "Is there a way to take off my pants?"
Where is this coming from?
Metal Gear Solid 3. I'm just browsing a Discord on the side. It just reminded me that Metal
I
Gear
was
Solid
gonna-
3 is still a masterpiece.
It's just great. It's just, oh, and there goes my monitor. Thank you, faulty wiring.
And
God,
suddenly
why
Pat
did we hire that?
exploded.
Oh, it's okay. Everything in the house every so often just shuts off and turns back on again.
Because you live in Stephen King's nightmare realm. What were you thinking, Pat?
No, it's because we keep hiring this one guy to do a lot of stuff, and he always has a half-assed job, and I don't know why we keep doing it. Oh, right, because he's the one guy who isn't 60 years old and actually goes out and does stuff, so hey. Or isn't
Realize
backlogged
you're a
into
woman,
oblivion.
Pat.
Man, I don't know wiring. I'm gonna be smart about that and mess with electricity I don't understand fully. I like having working hands.
Not that hard to learn.
But it potentially catastrophic to learn, at any rate.
I would
I'm
like
gonna go.
to learn from someone who knows how to do it,
I'm gonna go find
not
a
just
bump,
pull at wires and guess.
and I'm gonna hug my pot and like kind of just hug my pot and my pack and like do the sleeping while backpacking in Europe thing.
Alright.
Keep all your personal belongings clutched to your chest.
Sesna's actually going to try and make her hair a bit more less bad. We'll say.
This is
Donnel is passing out almost immediately because, oh yeah, I almost died.
We almost
In
died.
the club, we'll
Yes,
get
but they almost died painlessly. I almost died by being consumed by a living trash monster.
Okay.
Hey,
let's-
it only
let's-
grabbed you, and then I
let's-
split it in half with my
Let's-
heel.
Let's rephrase
There.
that statement. They almost died painfully. I almost died screaming, "Why? God, why? Why like this? That homeless woman in white, that homeless woman in white stone was right."
you're breaking up.
Why blame a homeless woman in Whitestone?
Because she said he was gonna die that exact way. Also,
A
Jeff
trash monster's going to
wants to, like-
swipe your legs out from underneath you as you try pointlessly to deflect with a curse. That's a very oddly specific way to die. Oh god, she was right!
No, he's talking about the ghouls or geists or whatever. Also, he's
Yeah.
trying to do the he's trying to do the Archer, that one gypsy lady reference without saying gypsy lady.
Gypsy ladies aside, let us go.
It's like the old gypsy woman said. Anyway.
Oh, there's just one gypsy lady running around saying how people are gonna die.
Can we put
But-
phrasing back in the rotation?
But yeah. Back on the
Has everyone gone up to the common room to sleep?
Yes. I've unrolled my my sleeping pack, and I'm fitting as much of my I'm just fitting my backpack in there with me.
Just hug it like
Yeah,
an old
so-
person. You need to cram yourself into a sleeping bag with it.
It should be noted there are small beds in the common room. Laid out in a fair brick pattern.
I mean,
I
it's
unroll
fair to
my
not trust
I
beds,
unroll
so-
my I unroll my bedroll on top of that.
Ah, alright.
Also, that's an idea. Have a dungeon, and there's just a room with a bunch of beds in the middle point, and they're all mimics.
I've done that.
Aren't you tired? Who said that? You can't just say something and then pretend you didn't say it. Hello?
I've done that exact thing, and then a player crit punched a mimic so hard it forgot why it was there.
Well, now anytime
How to
I'm
train
playing
your mimic.
D&D with Michael, I just need to light every bed I see on fire.
The best part is
Anyway.
that mimic restroom was the mimic stomach because they were just inside of a giant mimic.
Oh god.
But yes, continuing.
Mimic dungeon. Anyway.
For Sesna's part, she was gonna fuss with her hair a bit, but mostly do a bit of meditation before going to sleep and just trying to. She feels like she's found the rhythm, but she needs to try and get that down pat.
The night passes, and come morning you're all awakened as there's a sudden sound of somebody banging a wooden spoon onto a metal pan. Time to get up! Time to get up! That's the night you've paid for. Up, up, up!
Okay. This is oddly not all that dissimilar from where I grew up.
Not yet, Mama. Just another 5 minutes.
I'm gonna go over and give him a kick.
Ow!
Not a mug kick for a D4 of damage, just a regular, like, bed.
Just
Ah.
shoving your brother awake kind of kick.
Alright.
That's not the same brother. That's really not the same brother.
Fair.
Let's not turn this into Game of Thrones.
Anyway.
Okay, I'm not. Ugh. I thought I was back home for a second.
No such luck, stranger.
Who are you? I didn't see you when we walked in here.
As you're
He was
looking
the guy
around
in the
now
bar.
and seeing it, it's the pudgy short man from behind the bar.
No. You own. Of course you own the place. That makes sense.
I don't own the place. Mirabelle owns place. Or Belenka, Sorvia. I don't own place.
Wait. Nice. Oh wow, I should have been less rude. Well, whatever.
Alright, so I'm gonna head down out of the common room. And with the revelation that apparently these three ladies own these place, I'm gonna see if I can find them.
On a side note, how messy is Donnel's hair now that the pot is off?
Wait, what?
How messed up is
How
Don?
messy is Donnel's hair now that the pot is off?
Let's roll a D100, because why not? Well,
Hey.
that happened.
He wakes up
We're all
photo
13.
ready.
I have that Hollywood level of, bedhead. The bedhead that doesn't exist, but all the fucking all the rom-com protagonists wake up with.
I'll have you know that bedhead does exist.
Take your word for it, my friend. You filthy liar.
Anyway,
Look, it's a problem with having long hair, okay? But just gotta take the pot, or try and grab the spot just onto his head. There, looks better.
Thank you.
Come on.
Yeah, let's go. We gotta get ready for another day here in this lovely place.
a glance out the window on your way downstairs tells you that while it's brighter outside, it's not any less misty, but at least light shining in it.
I have a feeling that we're not going to see too much of the real sun while we're here. Oh well. Let's.
That is a damn shame.
That it is. But don't worry, you have the next best thing.
A torch?
Well, no, you got your magic shield on. You got your magic shield that does the light thing.
Or the shield itself is
No,
not. It's not all that magical. As I cast light on my staff.
Okay.
Flashback.
That's not what
Glad I went downstairs already.
That's really not what But, yeah, sure. That. You gotta head downstairs.
I'm gonna follow down so we can go meet Mr. Ismark.
Leon, as you were downstairs first and kind of looking around for the three ladies, they appear to have been allowed to sleep in.
Okay, well, it's unfortunate. I'm going to take a bottle, the bottle that I have opened, pour myself a small drink and drink it.
I look out.
I am then going to ask about breakfast.
I look out the window and try to ascertain what the time might be.
It's somewhere around... It's not long after dawn. The light that is kind of trying to shine through the obscuring gray mist is still relatively close to the horizon. You'd say maybe 7:30ish.
That's not done.
No, given that we're in the valley, that makes sense.
Right. You all ready to go, though?
Just kind of chewing on jerky. I'm ready to go. I can eat on the way.
Given that it's dawn, I don't know if our employer will be, but I suppose I am.
As am I.
Right. The bartender has followed you lot down, kind of most of the lot of you. Miss Maribel wanted me to tell you. If you need anything, just across the road is Bildrath's. He's a bastard, but he has things.
Hold on. Who? You
do
broke
you
up.
mean bastard as in you don't like him and you're being very rude about that, or do you mean bastard as in his parents weren't married when he was conceived?
Nobody likes Bildrath, because he's an asshole.
Okay.
We don't like him, he doesn't like us. Nobody likes anybody in that relationship. He won't like you either, but he has things.
At least he's
Fair enough.
preparing us for how unpleasant a feller he's gonna be.
But I don't know about you, but I don't have much in the way of, well, I don't have a lot of money, so.
I have absolutely none.
Oh, you poor sweet boy.
Yes.
That is an accurate assessment of what I am. I am poor. And
Alright.
Wait, sweet. I don't know about that.
Now, the subject that I said that we would speak of in the morning.
Oh, we have a topic to discuss?
Yes, you, do you happen to know if any of your ancestors... Do you happen to know if any Celestials are in your lineage?
I mean, I wouldn't know. Why are you asking now?
Mama said we were all Jesus' children.
You would not believe how hard I had to fight not to say that. I had to fight my gut instinct there.
Don't worry, don't worry, bud. I'm here for you. Got your back.
The most I know is Mom always used to say I was born special. Now on the count, I was born under a special star, I think.
God.
Must have been midday then, as close as you are to this one.
What happened?
The whole
Never
sprouting
mind.
thing is what he's on about.
Yes, the whole angelic wings.
Okay, that was the first time that ever happened to me.
Yes, that's what I know. That those are characteristics quite unique. Never mind. If you know nothing of your heritage, then
You know, all I know
suppose
is
it's
that
not worth
my
asking
pa
about
would
it.
probably be the person to ask, or well, even my mom, but she's in the turst fields. My pa was taken by them Ravager orcs, so I can't really ask him.
My condolences. Anyway,
So are you gonna go, or
yes, let us go.
Mama said we were all Palor's children.
As you step outside into the main square. Wasn't that good a pun, dude?
It's the
It was
accent that
pretty
does
funny.
it. It's the accent that really does it.
We are all Pelor's children on this blessed day.
See, you say it, and I just want to. You say it, and I just want to call out Uncle Bad Touch.
Okay. Anywho.
That's getting cut from the recording.
I certainly hope I remember to do that. Audience, you get to tell us. Did Shane remember? Or is Shane an idiot? Anyway.
Let's go
anyways,
knock on this fucker's
make
door
our
at,
way
like,
towards the
7
house.
in the morning.
Alright. As you get to about there, you begin to hear that sobbing again from last night. A low, moaning sob floating through the still gray sheets, coloring your thoughts with that tinge of sadness. And now you can see the source. A dark, two-story townhouse. It appears boarded up, but...
So,
Don't do it.
we
don't
just
do it,
going to
don't do
walk
it.
past that,
You alright in there?
find it, go.
Let us leave it for now.
It's a bit late for that. Donnel's already talking.
Hello?
Gertruda?
Well,
No, I'm Donnel.
Of course. It was stupid to hope.
Well, who's Gertruda?
My daughter. I kept her safe her whole life in these walls. A week ago, she ran out. No one's seen her. She's gone. Gone to the Devil's Strahd.
Kind of looking to the others like, do y'all think we should, or should we just stay our current course? Because I don't know. This Strahd fellow don't sounds like he's very right proper when it comes to treating women. All right.
She ran a week ago, yeah?
That is what she had said, yes.
Okay, I can't pick up the trail by now. I'm gonna keep going. I can't really help at this point in time.
Anything you could tell us about her? What she may look like? We can keep our eyes open while we're out there. The Shane has to flip through a book.
Yeah, Shane hadn't memorized Gertruda's appearance yet. Sue me. Young, thin, dainty. Beautiful, though. Soft skin, long brown hair. Me when I was younger.
Well, we'll keep our eyes out, and if we come across her in our travels, we'll bring her back this way.
Wait, just a moment. And you hear
Okay.
a scampering from the second story, and some of the boards come away from one of the windows. And then something gets thrown out of the window, and as it lands in the road before you, you can make out it's a sort of doll.
That's not creepy in the least.
It was mine, and then hers. If you find her, give it to her. Tell her Mother Mary is still thinking of her.
Alright, I'll do that for you, ma'am. As I add Gertruda's doll to my sheet.
The doll is malformed with a strange leer and seems to be wearing a dress made of sackcloth.
Nope, not paying attention to that. Nope. We're gonna... Hey, guys, let's go as I tuck this horrifying monstrosity into my bag.
Fun. But yes.
I'm at least gonna try to do something right while we're in this topsy-turvy world.
Continuing down the road. A weary-looking mansion squats behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside, while the left swings lazily in the wind. The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. Weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself. Yet against the walls, the growth has been tramped down to create a path all about the domain. Heavy claw markings have stripped the once beautiful finish of the walls. Great black marks tell of the fires that have assailed the mansion. Not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window. All of them are barred with planks, each one marked with stains of evil omen.
No, that's right.
A dark place. Indeed.
This is our place somewhere.
I mean, he has been saying he hasn't been wanting that Strahd fella around. Maybe, well, let's knock and see if he's up and about.
As you all approach the door, you're casting your gaze around and you can see there's trampled weeds all around the mansion, with scores of wolf paw prints and human footprints, though the gait of the human prints appears to be a stumbling, shuffling affair. As you knock, go ahead.
No, just like what? That's not. Huh. Lots of dogs.
But as you knock, a voice comes from inside. Who is there?
It's me, Donald, and the others.
Donnel. I don't know a Donnel.
Your brother asked us to come here.
1 minute. Ismark. Ismark, wake up! And you hear a loud ah!
Wow, that was real. That was a good thwap. We heard through the windows.
I like her. Like her quite a lot right now. Oh,
Did you just have
only just
your
met
hair,
her.
Miss Sesna?
But yeah,
After a second, you just hear loudly from inside. A cup of water would work, Irina. It is not as effective. Ugh, what is it? Your friends are here. Oh shit.
What are they doing so early here, so early in the morning? Who wakes up at 7:30?
There's a long moment before that you start to hear. It's like an inner city apartment building with all the locks coming off its door.
Precautions.
And you hear a heavy wooden bar being slid aside, and the door opens to reveal Ismark. And standing behind him is another figure. Bedecked in a breastplate and clutching a sword. Ismark smiles to you. Donnel, friends. He kind of gestures over his shoulder. This is my sister, Irina Kolyana.
Hi.
A pleasure to meet you.
She nods. And a pleasure to meet you all as well. They're here to help us bury Father? To help me bury Father. You need to stay inside until we... I am not staying here while we bury our father.
Mr. Ismark, if I may, with all of us here, I think it should be more than alright.
I do not.
Strahd seems...
yeah.
I do not think that we could stop Strahd if we all tried.
I mean, I feel like we could certainly slow him down, but not too keen on the whole death thing.
Irina huffs. The devil Strahd. Ismark, that's unladylike. Stop it. She's gonna scowl.
Nah, let her. But
Every time with that devil Strahd, is it just customary?
well, I mean, you didn't spit after you said Devil Strahd, so
Oh,
Clearly not
right.
anymore.
Don't
gonna
spit
spit.
inside or on a porch.
I'm gonna spit to respect the tradition.
Don't spit inside or on a porch.
Mr. Leon, there's dirt over there. I spit on that.
At any rate,
Got you there.
I spit twice because Sesna did not say spit after saying the Devil Strahd.
but yes, Irene continues. He must rest in his coffin during the day, in his native soil. It will be safe until dark. See, Ismark
Raises a very fair point.
Also, seeing how she's currently fully girded for scrap, I doubt that any amount of convincing we could try to lay her way would work.
What would I recognize about vampires and how to combat them?
Give me the better of a religion or arcana check. You know that running water burns them as if it were acid? And it's said that to catch one in unobstructed sunlight would cause them to burst into flame. Aside from that, you know a stake through the heart can paralyze them, leaving them vulnerable. And supposedly they do have to rest in their coffins during the day.
I suppose you might be right. I have heard that vampires must rest during the day. So, I'm not certain that is correct, but I think so.
Senor GM, may I make a roll to see if that's just bullshit story stuff?
You may.
Can I make a roll to see if any of this is gonna matter? Because again, she came dressed in her kit for fighting. I don't think any amount of convincing or reason is gonna work with this lady.
You may roll an insight. Leon.
It's mainly the art that's messing with my head. It's like, you know, she's wearing a breastplate and carrying a sword. She's not just gonna sit on the sideline.
Leon, you're aware that it is true that vampires cannot go out in unobstructed sunlight or they will burst into flame.
Okay.
You've actually seen fucking Joshua deal with a nest of vampire spawn that way. They were held up in a house. He set the house on fire. They came running into the sun to escape the flames and pretty much burst into flames and exploded.
That, children, is why you have an underground basement.
You notice Caerwynn's brows furrow for a moment. Wait a moment. The sun is obstructed here.
Ismark nods, and that is why you, he points to Irina, will be staying here until we get back. And Donnel, you see the sheer just stick to it and just fight in her face. I will not huddle in fear while our father is buried. Ismark kind of throws up his hands, just waving to all of you. Come inside while we get this all figured out.
I mean, I'm more than happy to do
Besides
that,
that-
but again, I'm not quite sure it's gonna amount to much changing.
Okay. One thing. You mentioned that you were going to take your sister to another city, correct?
Valaki.
Valaki. She's eventually going to need to leave the house anyhow.
Come inside while we get this figured out.
Step inside.
I have been invited inside so I can step in by vampire law.
Little did you know, Strahd got to him while you were all unconscious.
That's
I signed a deal the first second the party didn't have their eyes on me.
His first level was fighter. His second two have in fact been Warlock's Pact of the Undying.
Yes.
Would you all step inside? The interior of the mansion is well furnished, yet the fixtures show signs of great wear. Noticeable oddities are the boarded up windows and the presence of holy symbols in every room. Ismark and Irina lead you into a side drawing room, and there on the floor, lying in a simple wooden coffin, surrounded by wilting flowers and a faint odor of decay, is what you presume to be the former burgomaster of Barovia.
I suppose it'd be too much to assume you all have already, you Ismark have a grave plotted out.
Donovich, Ismark replies. The priest up at the church here in Barovia. He'll have a spot for our father.
Alright. Alright.
Ismark looks to Irina. There is nothing I or my friends can say that will convince you to stay, is there?
I have a thought. Before we waste time with petty arguments and trying to convince people, why not leave it to fate?
Okay.
Because fate won't really matter much if she decides, well, I'm not going to listen to fate, I'm going to go anyway.
Well, let's just ask them. If we leave it to fate, will she listen?
I will not miss my father's burial.
Considering your father died protecting you, aren't you acting a bit foolish, putting yourself in more danger? Sword of the Sarenrae is memory.
It's not incorrect.
My father did everything he could to protect me from the Devil's Strahd. And lady, I don't care.
And what you're doing is called being an idiot. Maybe don't do that.
She is going to have to leave this house eventually.
And I
Yes.
don't mean to be Asmodeus as advocate, but is it really any better if we all leave her here, alone in this house?
If the devil can't enter the house, then yes.
Well, who's to say the devil can't enter the house? I'm
Considering her brother
pretty
made
sure
a
I
point
saw
of mentioning it,
all those footprints trampled outside. If there's a way into here, anyway, considering I saw bestial and humanoid footprints out there, likely is that this devil Strahd, I'm not going to spit on y'all's floor. It's likely that he's already watching, waiting for a moment of weakness.
well, let's pose a question. How long have you been protecting her from this devil Strahd? And has he been able to enter the home before?
Since our father died a couple days ago, I took over. As for entering the home, yes. That's why I stayed away until I was going to fall asleep when I got home. We keep Irina away from the edges of the building, so that he can't charm her with his gaze, looking through the slats. But one of us usually has to fight off the wolves. I learned to stop that when I realized how my father died. And Irina looks down a bit shamefully. I'm not the only one Strahd can charm. He convinced my father to let him in the house while I was asleep. His devilish gaze. father must have resisted a couple days ago. The beast killed him.
Has Strahd visited you twice?
Yes.
Unfortunate.
Ismark nods. That is why I went with my sister to Valaki, where the church still has some protection left.
How long is the trip to Valaki?
Not too long, but
Is it more than a day?
you see him doing math in his head. No. Perhaps a day's worth of light at most. If we leave quickly enough, we should be able to reach it before the sun falls.
Then, considering we won't have time to come back and get her if we leave her here, we should all just go now. Come along. As Leon is going to walk outside. Actually, no, Leon is going to go and get by the coffin so we can pick this thing up. Don't.
I can help with that. Let's go.
Ismark takes up one of the handles.
So I'm where I'm looking at Caerwynn because I know we need a fourth. He is the only other gentleman here. This is the gentlemanly thing to do.
I mean, now you're just being sexist.
I assist.
Just one moment.
I'm gonna kind of, before I grab the handle, I'm gonna unstrap my shield from my arm and sling it onto my back.
I'm gonna put my shield on my other arm.
You have a shield?
Yes. I got it from the dwarf. Come on, man, keep up.
Oh, you have a shield. I mainly reference the art for like a quick glance of what people might have on them.
Yeah. Have a shield, Michael. I won't be carrying it this entire bloody game.
Oh, how it should have ended. Anyway.
That's how it should end. But still, yes.
Yeah. Let's carry this thing over.
Alright.
Up.
You carry it across town to the church. And as you arrive before the doors of said church, atop a slight rise against the roots of the pillar stone that against the roots of the mountain stone that supports Castle Ravenloft, stands a gray, sagging edifice of stone and wood. The church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end, and is worn and weary. The bell tower rises toward the back. Flickering light shines through holes in the shingle roof, and the rafters that you can see from outside strain feebly against their load.
Sesna, you wanna... Looking at the door.
Okay. I help.
The heavy wooden doors of the church are covered with claw marks and scarred by fire. But as Sesna moves to the front and swings them open,
Hellhounds, oh my god! Oh, no, just a guy.
the doors open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall itself is unlit and reeks of mildew. There are 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, appear to lead to adjacent chambers. You can see that the chapel is strewn with debris, and you hear a soft voice from within reciting a prayer. Suddenly, the blare is blotted out by an inhuman scream that rises up from beneath the wooden floor. Father! Please! I hunger!
Okay then.
Yep, that's just a thing.
This is a
That's disconcerting, to say the least.
I drop my handle on the coffin and shoot the priest in the neck.
blessed place.
I've seen Resident Evil. I know how this shit goes. No.
This is a truly
Don't do any of those
blessed
things.
place.
What is it?
Or
Yes. Blessed and cursed.
Are you Mr. Donovic?
Father Donovic, Donnel.
You Father Donovic?
You from within, you just hear, yes, I am.
Well, Mr. Ismark here said you, would have a place for us to, lay their father to rest. Also, what was that?
It is my son.
I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and assume you're not just locking your son in the cellar and starving him for without good reason.
He rises from where he kneels by the altar and makes his way toward the front door. A year ago, my son was convinced by a stranger, along with many other villagers, that they should go and strike against the devil Strahd. He spits on the stones outside.
It's just a town tradition.
By all accounts, this stranger, a powerful wizard, died, along with most who went with him. And so too did my dear son Doru, until he came back as a... Tell them, father! Tell them what he made of me! An abomination. A wicked mockery of the devil himself.
A vampire spawn. My condolences.
I have prayed to the Morning Lord, but
I would volunteer to put him down for you, but I have prior conflict.
Be more sensitive.
No.
you see the priest's face harden. No matter what my son has become, I will not condone you murdering him. Whatever he is now, he is still my son.
I'm casting Leon the Evil Eye.
Ignore Mr. Leon. He's,
Yes.
in a word, pragmatic, in another word, a bit rough.
Poorly adjusted.
That's a good way to put it, I suppose. We were told by Mr. Ismark and his sister here that, we could lay their father to rest. We're looking to do this relatively quickly so we can get her out of Barovia, this little village y'all got here.
Aye. And he steps out onto the steps themselves. Come around with me to the back cemetery. Normally I would do such things at dawn, but he kind of looks to Irina in the back and then to Ismark. There are pressing matters afoot. And as he closes the thick doors, and you can mercifully hear that inhuman howling of his son fade. Let us please be gone. And he leads you out back around the building. There we go.
Suddenly 18 vampires descend on us.
Please, I'm not that much of an asshole. 18 vampires
17.
spawn.
Ah.
But yes, as he leads you around to the cemetery, a fence of wrought iron with a rusty gate encloses a rectangular plot of land behind the dilapidated church. Tightly packed gravestones, shrouded by fog, bear the names of souls long past, and all seems quiet. I'm glad you came now. I would hate for you to see this place during the, well... Ismark picks up the Parade of the Fallen. I prefer the March of Heroes.
I'm sorry. What is that?
At midnight, all of the adventurers who have faced Strahd, 100 of them every night at midnight rise from the graves, their ghosts at least, and make the walk to Castle Ravenloft as he gestures up to where the castle pokes above the mist, high atop its cliff overlooking the village. At any rate, I've the plot planned out, but and he gestures to the back to a small shed behind the church where he kind of opens the door and you can see some shovels inside. I will need assistance digging.
All right, let's get this this done and through.
He gathers up the shovels and leads the way to the plot where you guys can set down the coffin.
Come on, guys, let's dig a grave. Just like digging, just like... I can't really appropriate this to anything I've done on the farm, my knowledge, aside from compost pits. Let's go.
How many of you are assisting in this?
I would assist.
How many shovels I got?
There's at least 6 shovels.
Okay, then yeah. Actually, just a slight question, because clearly I haven't been paying enough attention. But the sister, has she come with, or?
She did come
Yes.
with, yes.
Okay.
And she's been
Yeah.
sitting quietly at the back of the procession.
Up, dig, dig, dig.
Right. Between a lot of you, it doesn't take very long. Maybe about 30 minutes to get the hole dug.
I'm gonna climb on out and help anyone out that needs help. Mr. Caerwynn.
Yes.
Do you need help getting out of the pit?
I don't think so.
Because you're living
Oh,
there now as I clock him in the head with the shovel.
Oh, how gentle. I'll start climbing out.
I know you can handle yourself, Miss Sesna. Just didn't think Mr. Caerwynn there. Oh, pulling yourself out of a hole ain't exactly very easy after you've been digging it. I know a friend of mine, Shia LaBeouf, once told me that.
I push him in the hole.
This is where I live now. I deserve this.
I might as well take.
Playing around the grave.
Apologies.
I grab one hand and try to climb with the other.
With a helping hand, you can get out of the grave fairly easily.
Appreciate it.
Of
As I
course.
as I as I dust my clerical robes.
I'm gonna walk back over to the coffin. Suppose we should, well, I'm gonna be completely honest, it's my first time doing one of these proper funerals. I don't quite know what comes up.
The family speak and just be silent. Take your kettle off your head.
But yes. You help lower the former burgomaster into the grave. Ismark and Ilyana share a quiet moment, murmuring their favorite memories of their father and wishing him peace in the afterlife. Father Donovich says a short prayer to the Morning Lord. And as Ismark and Ilyana step away, he kind of gestures to the pile of dirt and shovels. Takes up one to help.
I am going to approach the priest as if he's stepping sort of away.
Well, he's currently helping to fill in the hole, but
Alright, no, I'm still just gonna approach him. Tell me something, priest. How powerful is your connection to your god?
the Morning Lord has not answered many prayers in the last... ever since that he kind of went to the castle. Monster took command of Barovia.
How do you feed your son?
I haven't. To do so would mean letting him out of the cellar, which would be disastrous for the entire village.
He'll get desperate and could break out anyway. It's possible. By keeping him as he is, you're putting your entire flock at risk.
The cellar has held him for a year. It will hold him until I can find a solution.
You may have one,
Way to
but I
save
don't
my
think
son.
you're powerful enough to do it.
And what solution do you offer?
The most common solution to save someone from vampirism is to kill them and then revive them using holy magics.
You ask me to let you kill my son?
Not until if you are... You're very attached to him. If you know of someone who can revive the dead, then I would try and get them here, then kill your son, then have him brought back to life. He would no longer be a vampire spawn.
If I knew anyone of that power, I would have tried it already.
I am not powerful enough to do anything of the sort, but who knows? I feel my connection to Sarenrae growing.
Well,
I will not risk
considering, I'm gonna say, well, considering she's basically the bane of undeath, makes sense.
I will not trust my son to a foreign goddess without any measure of proof.
I understand.
I thank you for your intent. I know you mean the best. But my son is the last kin I have. I'll find a way to save him. But I cannot risk losing him too.
We understand. And we thank you for helping these fine folk set their father to rest. I think we're all ready. We should move while we still have the daylight. What we can get of it through all this mist at our backs.
I will pray for you. I hope you make it to Valaki safely. Or... I have heard of an abbey further on in Krezek, at the other end of the valley. The abbey there is supposed to be a safe place. The Abbey of St. Markovia.
Saint Markovia, you say?
Yes. If nothing else, Krezek is still farther from that monster's home. Perhaps safer. But if you do not think you can make it, then Valaki is safer than at least than Barovia.
We can discuss that on the road, but it certainly sounds a lot better than just a simple palisade. Well, I don't know, he said a wall. It might be a proper stone wall. I don't know if that'd keep a vampire out, but it sure would be nice.
If the abbey is still holy, then it would help stop a vampire significantly more.
Well, I was talking more about Valaki, given that Ismark mentioned a wall. But, I mean, the abbey is kind of my vote.
Given that we've seen the vampire turn into mist, I don't think a wall is going to help.
Unless... You mentioned that a vampire cannot enter a residence without permission. Perhaps that extends to walled towns.
This Strahd, what was he before he was a vampire?
Not a vampire.
The devil. That's what these people keep saying, the devil Strahd.
Well, shush, the both of you. I'm asking people who live here.
A man who was a baron of this place, and then got the curse, and then went a wee bit mad with power.
Donovich looks at the lot of you. Would you believe a little of both? Or of all?
So, he is the count of these lands. By, for all intents and purposes, let's say legal rights.
Strahd conquered these lands centuries ago. The man, Strahd, conquered these lands centuries ago. The devil Strahd, as he takes care to avoid any graves. He is a curse placed on us for some crime our ancestors committed. Some forgotten sin that angered the Morning Lord.
If they are one in the same, then a wall won't help you. He owns all of this land, and by extension, the people on it. I'm actually surprised he needs help. He needs someone's permission to enter their home, given everything.
Elian speaks up, but he does. My father had to let him in. He had to be charmed.
Leon's gonna sort of rub his chin. This is an interesting dilemma he's never had to deal with or heard anything about.
You know, much of a right proper bastard as this Strahd sounds, at least he's polite.
But and she's just glaring daggers at him.
He seems polite. Mayhaps Donnel, mayhaps not. Maybe he still has to follow the rules of the vampirism.
Things to discuss on your journey, friends.
Yeah, we should get moving.
I personally think this abbey sounds a bit safer than just a town.
The abbey does sound safer, but how far away is the abbey?
Farther, I imagine, because he mentioned it's farther away.
Okay, my concern is that the town is perhaps a day away. If we push it, we'll get there before night. The abbey is going to be much farther, so we need to get your sister to the church in the town. And then if we can make it to the abbey within a day, then yes, we should probably go there.
I mean, depending on how we want to push ourselves, we could definitely make it there in a day. Just need to get to Valaki first and take stock on our supplies. I doubt we're going to find much in the way of game in these parts. This whole place feels off.
I would imagine we could. I mean, I'm gonna be fair, I don't know the first thing about hunting, but...
Well, my assumption came out the fact that there are werewolves.
You are so very lucky we just filled that hole.
What?
Oh,
What she is saying
nothing.
is that you're being a smartass.
Mom always told me I was smart.
Alright, we're gonna walk now. Everyone
Well,
follow.
I've been walking. I thought you were all walking with me.
No.
We made mention of we'll talk on the road, and I thought that was us walking. But my assumption is that
I don't know why you're in place. It's very weird.
that's just the graphics engine having trouble keeping up
No,
with
he's
us.
walking in place because I've grabbed him by the back of his shirt. He hasn't realized I've done it yet.
Anyway,
No, that's the latency issues.
Anyway. But you guys begin to make your way through Barovia and back onto the main road?
Yes.
Aye. Strahd, brought to you by Bethesda.
God bless them.
God damn them.
God, everything them.
That could be fun. That could be really, really fun if they did it.
If they don't let Todd Howard touch it, sure.
There.
Anywho, enough about the Todd man.
As you reach as you get close to the center of the village again, you hear the sound of small wooden wheels rolling across damp cobbles. And you trace the lonely sound to a hunched figure bundled in rags, pushing a rickety wooden cart through the fog.
And I'm just gonna quickly, put a hand on... Wait, hold on. Is it that away, or is it this away?
It's from that way.
Yeah, butts. Alright, well, just gonna try and walk past.
As you're walking past, you can see this, what looks to be a very old woman, hunched and draped in these rags. She'll stop her cart, walk up to a door, knock, give a moment to answer before moving on. And for the most part, none answer. But eventually she comes to a door and you hear from behind it, "Hello?" And then you hear her voice. "Dream pastry? Dream pastry is for 1 gold. A way to escape from the misery of this poor place. Specially made."
Alright, so listen, guys.
She's selling LSD.
She's selling fucking meth. She's selling pot brownies. We're gonna mug her, and then we're gonna go.
Mr. Leon, I don't think we should steal this woman's
Donnel,
product.
you don't understand. You've never had a pot brownie, and I'm not paying for it.
Well, I mean, of course, why would you make a brownie in a pot? That makes no sense.
Listen, once you have one, you'll understand.
But in actuality, what we do...
I think, she's a bit odd, but I don't think she's hurting nobody.
Listen, we move on. I don't want to know what a dream pastry is.
As you make it to the end of the row, you hear behind her as she reaches another house. She knocks. You hear the door squeal as it cracks a bit. And you just hear, "No, no, no." And then the door's and then you hear the door squeal more. "You're late on your payments, Jarov.
Oh,
I
God.
work so hard on these things, And you told me you'd have it. Please, Morgantha, please, where am I gonna get it? I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you somehow. Yes. Yes, you will. Who's that behind you? I'll take that.
Turn around.
I'm going to
right
turn it
back.
around already. Let's go.
I feel like I might need to intervene in this.
Yeah, we've all sort of just stopped.
Excuse me, ma'am. You're in the wrong setting. There is no law of surprise in this setting. That's tomorrow.
What if we're just gonna grab a rock for no real reason? Just gonna hold on to a rock. Seems so
I'm going with I'm just going with them. All calm. We're all calm here. We're just going to see what's happening.
I'm approaching the house.
As you approach, you can see this old woman sort of has the arm of a small boy who's crying, and his father, what appears to be his father, is holding on to the other side of him. Please, Morgantha, please.
Hey!
Daddy!
Yeah,
Daddy!
Hey! Stop that. Kind of running up now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
jogging.
Up.
The old woman lets go, and
You're gonna do yourself a favor, lady. You're gonna that boy.
the old lady lets go. The father pulls his son behind the door and closes it. And she just turns. Dream pastry? 1 gold?
How much?
I don't think I want
You-
your dream pastries, lady. We're trying to take a kid.
His father's a week late
I'm
on
gonna make this
payment.
very, very simple. I'm gonna make this very, very simple. How much does he owe you?
3 gold.
I'm gonna take 3 gold. I'm gonna hand it over to her. Well, I'm gonna take her, place the gold in her hand, just look her in the If I come back and find out you've been harassing that man and his family in any way, shape, or form, I will break you over my damned knee. And I'm going to try and intimidate her.
Can you give me an intimidation check?
Unfortunately, I'm not great at it. I got an 18.
In what world is 3 gold equate to a child?
This fucked up world.
Apparently,
That
Barovia.
is what he's on about. I just have to literally break this old lady over my knee. How does 3 gold equate to a child? I feel like it should be more.
I feel like this is a closed market economy.
As you
But yeah.
As you give her that stern warning, she kind of looks at the gold in her hand, closes her hand around it. Well, I won't need to now. You've paid him off.
Good.
And she's
Good.
giving you the most crooked, tooth-missing smile.
Next house. You're a week behind on your payments, dearie. Oh, god damn it.
Well, since you're so generous, good deeds do deserve to be rewarded, don't they? Tell you what, I'll give you 3 questions since you've given me 3 gold. Ask away, I know a lot.
What is it with Barovia? Fucking questions.
I don't know. Second question?
I didn't think. Oh, don't try and
Zach
sneak away out of this.
is my kind of GM. Zach is the kind of GM I am. Is like, I don't know. Next question.
I don't think that.
Wait, how was that a question? I
I'm
don't
the
know.
sort of-
Next question.
I'm the sort of player that beheads that NPC because you're trying to cheat me, bitch.
You asked questions!
No. But I didn't give you the money. Don't try and treat my friend because of my words. This is how I end up murdering you violently.
You know what? He's got us there.
I mean, if that's the kind of person you are, go ahead, but...
Listen, I'm very jaded and very
Anyway.
angry.
Anyway, you have 3 questions.
You killed my mood. I was gonna be very angry and stern with this woman, and now you've proved that. God damn all of you.
This is why we have to try and watch our.
We're really bad at maintaining tension, I just want to point that out.
Listen, okay, the tense, the tense moment was.
No, shh. But yeah, just still giving her that stern gaze, and honestly, given her attitude and her tone right now, just wants to fucking headbutt her. But gonna be diplomatic about this. Fine. Here's something I've been kind of wondering. Had presumptions, but don't quite know. Oh my god, that's a punchable face. But anyways, don't you hide that! Don't
And
you
then
try
I killed
to hide
anyway.
that!
I should have put that on the GM layer, but you saw nothing. Shut up.
That is a very punchable face, I'll admit.
That's another punchable face, yes. Fine. But yeah, I've had my presumptions, but I guess if I have the questions, and assuming that this won't come back to like that house, no, that is a question. But what all is a dream pastry? And I want the actual specifics, none of your flowery shit trying to sell it to me.
3 pots LSD, 2 pots methamphetamines.
She kind of gestures over to her cart and leads you over to it and pulls one out. She holds it up and it kind of looks like a small mincemeat pie. You see, dearie, if you eat one of these in its entirety, it'll give you a decent away time from the gloom of Barovia. You won't be good for much, but it'll ease your burdens.
Gonna give that a hard pass.
Jeff was not wrong when he said pot brownies.
Alright. Is anyone else late on their payments?
She thinks for a moment. Not at the moment, no.
Good. Let's see. We have a third question, should probably make that count. Being very careful to not say, what all should I ask? Because don't want that smart aleck. Holy shit, ask about this.
My wiener. Ask me about Kevin's Sorbo.
I don't know why that made me chuckle. Look to this. You got any suggestions on what I should ask?
I have one up. Why did she want the kid?
That's obvious.
That's a very good question.
That's
but-
great.
You say you know a lot, and you seem to want kids, or well, we're gonna take that kid for looking at the pies. Certain reasons, I can only assume.
She looks from you to the pies. Oh no! I'm a lot of things, but I'm not that cruel. Besides, that's just wasteful.
There. By the
Let's
way,
waste a good
that
kid
wasn't
meat.
a question.
Ah!
We've seen more than a fair few strange things since coming here. And from what I can tell, or at least assumptions some of us have made, that one house that burned down the other night, certain things like that, how much of that was exactly real? And don't try to give me the smart-ass answer.
You mean the old Durst place?
Yeah. From the sounds of it, it likes to build itself back up.
Only when new people come in. But as for how much of it's like that...
How much of that was actually real, specifically?
Oh, how much of it was real? All of it. It just wasn't happening right now.
Hmm.
That Durst house first burned down... well, when I was younger. It must have been right around the time Strahd came to Barovia.
Well, thank goodness you asked the question I had on my mind. Or answered it, anyways.
Wait. Damn, I miscounted again.
Well, thank you. I'll be going. Don't try to abduct any kid, else I'm gonna have to break your arms.
Well, we certainly
Good
wouldn't
night.
like that.
Or
Goodbye.
day. Walk away.
As she parts ways, going down one of the other side roads with her cart. And you lot make your way.
Out of character.
Go
Out
ahead.
of character. I want so badly just, we're here one day, and she's going down, dream pies for sale, and I'm just walking behind her like, don't buy them. Really don't buy them. It's like, stop that. What are you gonna do?
We're just running a smear campaign on this
And
woman.
that's what we find out, that Strahd was never the head vampire. She was the head.
Turns
head
out she just wanted to take that kid out of a shitty home scenario.
To be fair, his father
Turns
was
out
like
she is
three-fourths
Strahd.
intent on pot brownies. So
Yeah, she was just gonna take that kid somewhere better away from his drug addict parents.
Listen,
listen,
better, different.
listen. Either way, my backup might have just said, "Hey, this is a teachable moment. He got himself into this mess. It's his fault."
Anyway.
On the road again.
Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Road that performance. On
Not
the
bad.
road again.
Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Stop singing!
No, do not. Do not.
As we make our way,
Indeed. I will actually skin whoever that is. I will have a coat like that one scientist from 40K.
Okay. Sorry.
Right. As you approach a crossroads after about an hour of traveling down the road, you come to an old crossroads. An old wooden gallows creaks in a chill wind that blows down from the high ground to the west. A frayed length of rope dances from its beam. The well-worn road splits here, and a signpost opposite the gallows points off in three directions. Barovia village to the east, Zarepool to the northwest, and Ravenloft/Valaki to the southwest. The northwest fork slants down and disappears into the trees, while the southwest fork clings to an upward slope. Across from the gallows, a low wall, crumbling in places, partially encloses a small plot of graves shrouded in fog.
Well, I mean, we're headed to Valaki, are we not?
Ismark nods. Aye.
Just a little unnerving seeing. Well, let's not stay here longer than we need to.
Sesna, as you've reached the crossroads, you do recall last night that three sisters in the inn had directed you to Madame Eva, which, if I hadn't mentioned last night, they did say was out of the Stunny camp near Zerf Pool.
You did.
And from the signpost, that is along the northwest road.
Let's see.
Valaki is along the southwest road, and the other road leads back to Barovia.
That way is the camp.
Coming in quiet.
This the way leads to.
I don't know why it's literally right up my one. Maybe I should lower this volume. This might be.
Yeah, that might be the issue.
There. But yeah. So this is the way to the camp. This is the way apparently to Valaki. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they actually link back up.
It's impossible to tell at the moment.
How long it would take? As a side, with
How much daylight do we have left?
Go.
When you left Barovia, by the time you hit the edge of Barovia, it was about 9 o'clock, and you've been going for about an hour, so it's about 10 a.m.
So as a side, just for the sake of it, there's a camp of those people similar to the owners of that tavern along the northwest road. Apparently, they have a couple things: those potential stockpile of those potions, and then a fortune teller. If we want to go to one of them, apparently she's quite potent or powerful, or some other such.
Well, I'm not opposed to seeing. Maybe one of them folks has a map they'd be willing to trade as well. Personally, I like the idea of having a proper map of the area.
We have a duty to these two. We should get them to Valakia before we go anywhere else.
Well, it wouldn't be too off of detour. Oh, it's a duty we have to these two. What do you two think about this?
Ismark looks to the road that's labeled to be between Ravenloft and Valaki. Kind of looks down the road towards their pools. The woman they told you of, Madame Eva.
That'd be the one.
I've heard she's powerful. Mayhaps she can help us in some way, beyond merely telling fortunes, but I would wish to hasten to Valaki, but with a lot of daylight left, we could perhaps afford the slight detour.
Let's make haste then, so we can hasten this detour, make it as small of a detour as possible. Because I would like to see if any of them folk have a map.
That would make things significantly easier.
I'ma hurry down the road. Clank, clank, clank.
God bless him. I mean, yeah, but let's get going.
Alright.
Leon is going to chuckle as Sesna walks forward behind Donnel.
As you leave
You got something to say?
Had something to say, I would have said it.
No, I just like laughing.
As you leave the crossroads, you hear a creaking noise behind you, coming from the gallows. Where there was nothing before, now hangs a lifeless, gray body, and the breeze turns the hanged figure slowly so it can fix its dead eyes upon you. Everyone roll me a d20.
You mean roll a range attack check as I throw a rocket? No. I'm not gonna.
Alright,
I'm not gonna
I am
Yeah.
losing consciousness.
Alright, it won't be much longer.
Keep us. Keep with us.
Yeah,
Just a little longer, mate. Hold.
Hold the door. Hold the door. Buddy, it's okay.
if I stop responding, it's because I'm asleep.
Yeah, we won't be going too much longer. Me and Trevor have to
You
get up in
could
the
just
morning early anyway.
and be alright.
But
I know where he's planning on wrapping it up, so we're very close.
yes. As you look back, Caerwynn, you see a slightly decayed version of yourself dangling from the gallows. The rest of you simply see an unfamiliar person. They look kind of like the Barovians what you've seen of Barovians. Pale grayish skin, dark hair.
I,
Something
is this
matter?
I saw myself on those gallows.
What?
A cursed land indeed, it would seem.
Mr. Caerwynn. Oh, Mr. Caerwynn, what'd you say?
I saw myself on those gallows. It's
Just keep
very
walking.
unsettling.
It's
I
more-
can imagine. But you're not on those gallows, so let's leave the weird, creepy gallows alone.
Narrow my eyes at them. The gallows, not the rest of the party.
Yeah, Caerwynn has had a hard time keeping his eyes off of them.
But you all make your way away from it?
Yep.
Yep.
Alright. As you continue down the fork you've chosen, the road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of wagons. The canopy of mist and branches suddenly gives way to black clouds boiling far above. There's a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river, and the mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures around a bonfire. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest's edge.
We found our
Alright.
place.
Walking on.
Look at all these colorfully dressed folk.
Not that colorful, actually. They're all in the same color.
They're much more brightly colored than you've seen Barovians dressed.
Listen, just because I wear all black does not mean...
I'm gonna do the dumb thing and start walking in.
I'ma follow her.
Just right into where they're all dancing.
There are about 12 of these people, male and female, standing and sitting around the fire, telling stories and guzzling wine. Most of them appear rather intoxicated.
Ah.
But as again, they all sort of raise a small cheer. Ah, welcome, welcome, and they start passing flasks of wine towards you. Come, join us a while.
We don't really have time for
no.
that. We
We kind of came to see a. We came to see one Ava, Madam Ava specifically.
Oh, it was fated you would visit our humble camp then. Madam Ava foretold your coming. She's waiting. He points you to the largest tent.
Right.
Oh, let's not keep her
Just
waiting.
gonna leave the drunken revelers to their revelry. Excuse me, pardon me. Just walk by all the drunk people.
Yeah, I'm gonna try not to step on any drunk folks' toes. Oh god, I'm fast.
Hope nothing
Mr. Cameron's
untoward
fast.
happens, so someone doesn't get punched.
Leon is going to sort of open the folds of the tent and step inside.
Alright.
I will take my hat off as respect to the homeowner.
Good, he's learning.
Zach, you still with us?
Princess Zack. Princess Zack.
Hmm?
Good.
He is there. We can finish this up where you want to finish it up.
Alright. Can you stay with us another 10, 15 minutes maybe?
10
Pass out
at
farther than
most.
You've ever passed out. Let's not waste time then.
Should be able to get through it then. Magic flames cast a reddish glow over the interior of this tent, revealing a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As the crone speaks, her voice cracks like dry weeds. At last you have arrived! The cackling laughter bursts like mad lightning from her withered lips. And...
Ah, man.
you guys... Yeah, you guys should be able to see her.
Yeah, we see it happen.
She guys need to look.
She's puffing on that cigarette.
I wonder if I get her more cigarettes, can she keep telling me the future and eventually die?
God damn it. Anyway. She looks across each of you and points to you in turn. Leon, Donnel, Sesna, and Caerwynn. The farm boy, as she points to Donnel. The hunter, as she points to Leon. The chosen priest, as she points to Caerwynn. And finally she points to Sesna. And the runaway warrior. Come in, come in. I've waited long enough, I think.
He has him. Donald is very polite, very... This is like talking to your grandma.
Caerwynn also makes his way in.
I'll take it you'll want your fortunes read, then.
I
Got the high and low, but would also prefer something a bit more substantial, but
Another.
I was
Well-
hoping y'all had a map, but I'll ask about that afterwards, man.
Before we get to this fortune business, I'm going to point at the two Barovians with us. They were wondering if you could help them in some way.
She kind of looks over the two of them. And a smile comes to her face. I can tell you lot that once we're done with your reading, you should get her somewhere safe.
Well, perhaps you could tell us of somewhere safe, considering you've been here for quite longer than we have.
Krezek, my dears, Krezek. All the way across the valley, far from prying eyes, but no further than that.
Well, that's actually very helpful. Thank you, ma'am.
I pride myself on being helpful. But come, come, gather round the table, let me cast your fortunes.
okay.
I'm gonna do just that.
Shane?
Ooh. Ooh, I'm excited actually.
Alright.
Yeah, Shane's got the fancy cards. Better than when I tried this.
Ooh.
Oh. Wow, the art on these is fantastic!
That 5e really stepped up for the Taroka.
I'm just going to step out here so I can see all of these.
I'm also gonna step out here so I can see all these.
Oh, whoop, whoop. Move shit, people. Let me move them into the wagons as best I can.
Yay!
Oh god. Oh god, Miko's knowledge of the Taraka reading is kicking in.
You know
Quiet.
nothing. You know nothing. You are Jon Snow.
Oh god, I can. No, I don't want to be a ruined character.
Jon Snow before season 8.
Anyway,
I want to pet my damn dog.
yeah, she lays 5 cards out in a cruciform pattern. She hovers her hand over the card on the left. This card tells of your history. Knowledge of the ancient, or this card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. And she flips it. To reveal. She reveals a card that is the 6 of Swords, labeled the Berserker. And she looks. Ah! Find the Mad Dog's crypt. The treasure lies within, beneath blackened bones. She hovers her hand over the top one relative to her. This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. And she flips it.
Hold on a second. I have you wrote that dog's crypt.
Mad Dog's Crypt, ancient knowledge, or knowledge of the enemy.
Sorry. Okay.
There it is. But yes, a holy symbol. And she flips it over, and it is a 2 of coins labeled the Philanthropist. Ah. Look to a place where sickness and madness are bred, where children once cried. The treasure lies still.
Oh, charming! Charming!
She hovers her hand over the 3rd card, the one on the right, relative to her. This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight.
Just happen to say where this sword is.
I think she was getting to that.
Oops, just happened.
She flips the card, and it's the 4 of stars labeled the Abjurer. I see a fallen house guarded by a great stone dragon. Look to the highest peak. She then hovers her hand over the 4th card, the one closest to her. Moment. She flips it, and the card is labeled the Raven. Ah, find the leader of the feathered ones who live among the vines. Though old, he has one more fight left in him. And finally she lays her hand over the center card. Your enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. She flips it, revealing a card labeled the Horseman. Ah. I see. Shane was looking at the wrong thing and needs to go find the right one. Because Shane, as we've discussed, is an idiot.
No more than we are.
He's not wrong.
Lurks in the one place to which he must return. A place of death. And then Madame Ava shudders a minute. Before going still for a second, laying her hand on the table. It is taxing at times. And she sort of scoops the cards together. Please, you may take these.
I'll reach forward and take the cards.
You should be able to right click on the card and say take card.
Oh, am I? Take card.
Oh.
Take card. Who took a card? I'm taking these cards. Well, we're tied, Jeff. I got the cool ones.
I think I've got the cool ones actually, but not
That's
of
fair.
opinion.
Anyway.
I mean, I have a horsey.
I have a berserker and a raven. I kill your horsey and my raven picks out its eyes.
That's just neat.
You mean his horse kicks your berserker in the face, and then
And my berserker,
dies
being
from a
berserker,
shadow.
doesn't give a single shit.
Dies.
At any rate,
Anyways, let's move on to the wrap up so Zach can get some sleep.
Yes.
But aside from that, you wanted a map, and she goes ruffling through her belongings and eventually draws one. There you are. It might be a little old, but it should tell you what you need to know.
Did you also know he was going to ask for that out of pure curiosity? Or that just what we needed one and
Oh,
got it
no.
prepared just in case?
No. The fortune I read last time, well, it told me you'd stop up over at the, what was his name? Periwinkle? He said Periwinkle would have given you his. But everyone's wrong sometimes. And the site's not perfect.
Well, Mama Murphy, let me fix that for you. I mean,
I've also marked down in my inventory what cards I have, what cards Donnel physically has, in case that's ever important. Just in case they actually disappear from above my name. Not sure if they will.
Hopefully not, but
Alrighty.
Right. Then I guess we need to make a point to get the other two to safety then.
I think we should move as quick as we can. And start making a
Wait,
course for
besides-
the rest.
Besides it being, of course, who we think it's going to be, did you see what was going to be coming after us?
you're his latest challenge. I
Okay.
hope you don't think he's going to let you meander around his holdings.
Just gonna crack knuckles. Okay. Okay.
We should move so we at least get Irina and I forgot her brother's name, damn it.
Ismark.
Ismark. We should move quickly so Ismark and Irina get to safety. Once we're in Valaki, we can start plotting a course for Krezk.
Also, it's like he's like the Bismarck, except without the B, and also isn't in the bottom of the ocean.
Right.
So a lot like. So, in fact, nothing like the Bismarck.
I don't know. He's in Barovia. That could arguably be worse.